Good morning, everyone. So today I felt guided. First, I was just going to do a video and post it, but I really felt the guidance to come live and talk about it. So today I want to address thinking with love. Now, thinking with love does not mean that you talk to everyone like you're in a nursery full of babies. Thinking with love doesn't mean that you're thinking with your emotions. Thinking with love doesn't mean that you are ignorant. Thinking with love doesn't mean that you necessarily see just sunshine, rainbows, and lollipops and ignore problems. Thinking with love doesn't make you dumb. Thinking with love means that you are tuning in to the highest version of yourself that is connected to the divine of all that is. You are connecting with the smartest part of yourself when you begin that process, when we begin to think with love. And like I said, thinking with love isn't thinking with your emotions, because that's a very common misconception. People say, oh no, I'm thinking with my emotions. That's not what thinking with love is. Love is an emotion, but at its truest form, love is the only thing that there is. Love makes up all of creation. So when you're thinking with love, you're thinking with all of creation. You are thinking with the divine source of all that is. And that is where we want to be. That is what we want to really embody more and more each day. And so, how can we begin to really think with love? Why would we want to think with love? Well, the reason why we want to think with love, like I said, you're thinking with all of creation. You now have access to everything, not just your ideas, but the entire universe of ideas. Then how do we begin to do this? How do we begin to think with love? And one of the best ways that we can do that is, like I said yesterday in one of my posts, was about letting go of your judgment. And you can simply do that by asking, how would love see this? Or how would my source see this? How would God see this? You can do it in a multitude of different ways. Asking that question, because in that you are then revealing to yourself. You are stepping back, you're letting the personality kind of step away, and you're letting that higher version of intelligence that is within you really inform you. So today, I really want to give you the invitation to think more with love, to really allow yourself that, and to remember, thinking with love doesn't mean you let your emotions guide you. Because the only emotions that should guide you in thinking with love are peace and compelling. If something feels peaceful and compelling, and it has to be both, and you have to be honest with yourself, because that's what love is. Love is honest. It doesn't say, well, it feels peaceful, but not really compelling, but I'm going to go with it anyway because, there's peace there. Or to say, well, I feel like I really should do it, but it doesn't really feel peaceful to do it, but I'm going to do it anyway. To think with love means that those two principles, it feels peaceful and compelling, guide you. They guide you the whole way. So let's say that you are walking somewhere and you really want to practice thinking with love. So maybe before you leave the house, you said, you know what? I'm going to let love lead the way. I ask that love be my guide today. And let's say you're walking and you see something that disturbs you, that disturbs your peace. And so you go up to, instead of going straight into that judgment, straight into that, panic, we take that step back. We take that breath. How would love see this? How would love have me act in this situation. Then we follow what feels peaceful and compelling in that moment. We go ahead and we go with what feels peaceful and compelling in that moment. That is what thinking with love is. Maybe you need to talk to someone, and it's going to kind of be a hard conversation because maybe there's going to be some emotions there. What we do instead of, trying to come up with the script in our head, because let's be honest, we have all done that. Like, we're going to have a hard conversation and we are already scripting what it is that we think we should say. Instead of doing that, let's just simply invite love. Love, what would you have me say here? And then you go with what feels peaceful and compelling, because love will give you the words, give you the symbols that you need to help to facilitate a conversation. Not just, okay, here are my thoughts, here's what I need to put out there, bam, done. But it will help to facilitate a conversation and help you to get your point across. And then as the other person is speaking, love, please translate their words for me. Translate what it is that they're really saying. Let me hear the love in them speak to the love in me. And then just take that deep breath. You don't have to close your eyes. You don't even have to say this out loud. You just say it mentally to yourself. And that way, when they're speaking, you can hear love talking back to you. You can hear what they're saying beyond their words, beyond, what their feelings may be expressing, to the truth that lies beyond. Because that's the other thing that thinking with love does, is it allows you to see beyond the words, beyond the behaviors, beyond the gifts, beyond the deceits, beyond the betrayals, beyond the stories, beyond the judgments, to the truth that lies beyond. Because love will tell you that everything is a call for it. No matter the behavior, no matter the words, it is a call for love. And it's not always your job to answer that call for love. It's not always your job to be that giver of love in that moment. But you ask. That's one thing. We ask far too little. We invite love in far too little. And this is our invitation for today, to begin to invite it more and more in our lives. And as we do, we begin to see our lives change and transform in miraculous ways, because we're seeing the world from a brand new standpoint. So today, the invitation, think with love.